Yo, what's good, everybody? What's good, man? Happy Tuesday, y'all. Happy Tuesday, and welcome to another episode of the Jayson Estrera Show, where we talk about basketball, sports, and any topic that comes our way as accurate as possible. Now, today, we will be talking about some more LeBron James and James family stuff, because yesterday was Bronny James's press conference and his introduction as a LA Laker. And the day after, LeBron comes out with the news that he has signed his max deal with the Lakers. We will also be talking about some WNBA stuff. And as always, it's your host, your boy. What's good, Elijah? It's Tuesday. Didn't I just say it's Tuesday? What day did I say it is, bro? These days starting to fucking... No, it's Wednesday, brother. It's Wednesday, not Tuesday, bro. Happy Wednesday. You fucked up too, dog. Oh, we're off to a good start. We are off to a good start. Oh, I said Tuesday. It's Wednesday. My bad. And then you said it's Tuesday, dog. It's Wednesday. We are off to a great start, obviously. But you know, I see this on the timeline, dog, and I thought this was great. How you been, man? How you been? Oh, shit, that's loud. How you been, dog? How you been? Let's see this. So, I don't know if y'all remember, but Jaylen Brown had lost the ring during the parade or whatnot, and he went and got his ring back.
No.
Wait, listen.
That Jalen Brunson.
Oh my goodness, I can't.
He said it's that Jalen Brunson. Yo, people are such assholes.
That Jalen Brunson.
Oh my goodness, I can't.
A cousin's trip to Jamaica. Oh, that sounds fire, man. I hope y'all had a great time. Cousin's trip with the family. Oh, that's lit, man. I'm glad that y'all went. That's dope. A little family trip. Hell yeah. Oh, right before a hurricane hit. Damn, that's crazy. That's funny because my brother and my girl's sister is about to come down and visit us. So it's a family affair, dog. I love it. Love hanging around family, man. That's great. I'm glad y'all got back safely. I hope travels was all good. Outside of some annoying people on flights, possibly, because you know how those guys be sometimes. If you end up sitting right next to the wrong person, dog, it gonna be a long flight. I'm in there fake sleeping and shit. But anyway, let's get back to
We appreciate you.
No, absolutely. We're happy to give it back.
This guy's
No, you guys.
This is for you
I
guys.
really just wanted you to have it.
You should reinvest this in the community or something.
That's for you. Hey, one act of kindness is what we need. So we appreciate
Sure, I
it.
mean,
Positive.
Just says cool.
Oh, that's the one.
Yes, sir. Let's take a pic. Let's take a picture.
So it's good to see Jaylen Brown get his ring back, but I'm be honest, and it's not no crazy, but you could have thrown me some bread, bro. Like I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck. You could have just thrown me some cash. Like, I get to see y'all ring ceremony. Let's be honest at how ring ceremonies end up happening. That team that gets the ring end up losing that game. Like, what the fuck? Bro, just give me like 10,000. Like, that's pocket change. I feel like for an NBA player, like they lose 10 grand. Like, that should just fall out their pocket. He could have thrown me some cash, man. He said, "Here's a jersey signed." Hey, honestly, maybe is that guy's fault? Is that Jalen Brunson? Yeah, fuck that guy. What the hell? He thought he was Jalen Brunson. Oh, that was sick, but you know, and like the funny shit is, aren't they in Boston? Like. That's the sick part. Like, you don't know your own team's players, like best players, dog. But hey, next time just throw them some cash, bro. Just throw them some cash, just a little bit of cash. They'll be straight. Now, we are. This came out yesterday. I was a little bit confused. I'll be honest with you. Where is this? So I saw this, bro. I saw this shit and I was wild confused. Was anybody else confused when they saw this? I said, wait a second. Why did they have the women's national team next to the All Stars? And then I was like looking down the list. I was like, where's the All Stars? Like, where's Aja Wilson? I was like, they over here. Come to find out that they're playing against each other. And so I'm confused because there was such a big fuss the other week about the voting, the fan voting. What's good, Angel? What's good? What's up? And I was so confused. How you doing? How's your Wednesday, bro? Happy hump day, everyone. Oh yeah, happy hump day. Hump. Just lurking. Nah, you're chilling, bro. You're chilling. But for me, I was confused as to why that was news when this comes out. Maybe it's to my negligence, but why did it matter then when a lot of the key players were gonna be in this game anyway via the women's national team? Like, why was it such a big deal that like, what the fuck? So, you know, obviously Caitlin Clark gets in. Hump. Obviously Caitlin Clark gets in. Angel Reese gets in. Aaliyah Boston also gets in. Teammate of Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, gets in. And then Arike Ogun, bro, I'm so bad, bro. But all of these women have been balling this year. And then obviously we have pretty much the best players in the WNBA on the women's national team. Yeah, this should be cool. This is gonna take place on July 20th, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I believe the game is in Phoenix, and yeah, so you know, obviously the roster is the roster. There's gonna be a bunch of rookies. You would expect the women's national team to win this, but honestly, more so than this. A lot of people were talking about the fan voting is really the topic, and is fan voting bad for sports, right? Is the question. And I've been on both sides, right? Because you know, you'll like a certain player or you'll like a team, and they don't get voted in because it's a popularity contest. But when you think about it, right? Who's gonna end up watching that game? Those eyes, you know, all of those eyes on Caitlin Clark. Let's say even half of them don't watch that game. That's a big hit on those numbers, right? Half of Angel Reese's fans don't end up converting and watching that game. That's a big chunk of those numbers, right? You can't get mad at them for being popular. Like, it's that's not their fault. And in a situation like this, yeah, they get they get the advantage. I mean, obviously they're not gonna be winning MVPs or whatnot, but let's be honest. Both Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are a really good call for Rookie of the Year. They're probably the two players that are in it. You know what I'm saying? So that plus their popularity, yeah, Why not have them in the All Star game? I don't understand. I don't understand the hate towards it. They've been playing well. Angel Reese literally has a WNBA record. It's not a rookie record. It's not record under a certain age. It's a record, and it's her double streak. So this notion of is fan voting bad for sports? Let's be honest, right? Like, we've seen this in the NBA year in and year out, and people are going to get left off of the list, right? It's a part of it. Everyone can't go. And some people hate that. But I personally kind of love that. Because at the end of the day, this is competition, and this is, fan voting. It's a mix of your popularity and your play, right? There's winners and losers. Everyone can't get in. And whether fans, media, or coaches, like you said, everyone can make it. And that I agree. That's facts. What I also love in this is, let's call it what it is, right? This creates narratives. When a player doesn't make it and they feel like they're snubbed, they get to go and talk about it, and then they play, and then we get to watch how they play as a result of that. Do they respond like a fucking assassin and go and start killing everybody in the second half of the year, or do they fold like a lawn chair? It creates this story and this narrative, and let's be honest, it creates it puts more eyeballs on certain players, like Damian Lillard, for all that he's accomplished. A part of his story at this point is, having to always prove himself. It's a part of his story. It's a part of the narrative, right? It creates that. And so, the WNBA, and I'm sure that they've dealt with this even before without all of these extra fans, right? I'm sure people have gotten left off in a regular year, 5-10 years ago. It's just a lot bigger now. It's just a part of shit. And you want all of these eyeballs to go and watch their favorite players. And unfortunately, the most popular players are the two rookies in the WNBA, and it is what it is, right? But like we said, a rising tide lifts all ships, right? So if all of those eyes are in there to watch Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, well, guess what? They get to watch Aja Wilson. They get to watch Sabrina. They get to watch Jewel Lloyd. They get to watch all of these women play. So this notion of fan voting is bad. Like, come on, man. Come on. And then when they're all of a sudden MVP caliber, one of the best players in the league, and they have the same fan base, like, you can't complain about it. It just came a little bit early, but it is what it is. They're in this transition period for them, right? So let's take a look at, another part of it is I've seen a lot of people complaining about the new fans in the WNBA, right? And let's call it what it is, right? A lot of the new WNBA fans are NBA fans. So let's not pretend like, we have people going in there watching that have never watched a dribble of basketball in their life. Like, it's not that. Like, we come in here, obviously everything isn't comparable, but you can't help it. We come in here through the lenses of, this is the stuff that we've seen in the NBA, and this is the stuff that we think that could or could not work. Like, that's how we judge things. That's what we know. Like what the fuck am I supposed to just come and watch the game and just like what am I supposed to do when I'm watching the game, bro? Like, I'm gonna judge the game the way I judge any other basketball game. Like bro, this whole notion, and I think a part of it is media driven, right? They're forcing some of these narratives and some of these topics when the stories are gonna write themselves, right? The fans are already choosing who they want and who they like. Just let this shit play out. Some people are gonna hate Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese for it. Some people are gonna embrace it. Like, just let this shit play out. We've seen this before. Like, fuck, man. Like, shit. Now, to just touch on this part again, Angel Reese did keep her streak alive in who did they play last night, bro? They played the Atlanta Dream. No, this is not their game last night. No, it was their game last night. And she kept her streak alive. She is now at I think 11 games or 12 games. She had 12 points and 19 rebounds. Like, dog, what the fuck? They won 85-77. So for all the shit that she gets, man, for all the shit that everyone is beginning, she gonna keep running this streak up, and it's gonna be one of those, like, they're gonna have to play to get this streak, and she's just fucking doing it. So yeah, kudos to her. They got another win. They're at, what's their standing right now? Are they still 9th? Yeah, they're 8-9. So they're basically Chicago and the Fever. The Sky and the Fever right now just keep switching. Just keep switching. And, you know, obviously the rookie of the year is going to have to come down to Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And I'm going to keep it a buck. Like, even if there's another person that someone out there thinks should get it, like, it just is what it is. Like, they have to keep pushing this sport forward. Did my shit? Oh, fuck. I don't even know where we was at, but we back. All right, sorry. Technical difficulties. My shit shut down. I don't know, but we back. We back. We back. Hey, man, let's fucking, like, I know we were talking about the WNBA, but let's jump. Let's just get into it, man. Let's just get right into it. Where is this? Let's get right into the James family stuff. We back, Elijah. We back. But let's get right into the James family shit. Let's see. So he is reportedly, LeBron James is reportedly signing a 2-year, $104 million deal. So, you know, I was talking yesterday about potentially giving the team flexibility, right? Of LeBron possibly signing a 1-year max deal, turning around next year and taking a pay cut in order to get, you know, whatever player, you know, the players that are potentially available. You know, one being Brunson, who hopefully, for the love of God, please stay in New York. I swear, if you go to LA, dog, you're dead to me. Like, literally dead to me. But, you know, Jimmy will be a free agent. You know, there's a couple names that I was talking about yesterday. Let's see. Oh, Randall will also be free, and Kyrie Irving could also potentially become a free agent next year. And we know he's already discussed potentially, you know, reuniting with LeBron. He's been very open about that. But that, to me, it's just Kyrie answering questions. It's just him being honest. I don't think it necessarily means he's swaying one way or the other, because he could very well sign an extension in the middle of this year and they guarantee him moving forward, which could be what LeBron is anticipating, right? LeBron could just simply be anticipating that in the next 2 years, no other star player is going to free up, and it'll depend on him and the guys that he has now, and whatever trades or whatever free agents, basically role players that they can get moving forward. And this could also be a timeline for what the rest of his career could look like. This could just be the last 2 years of his career. I think even his youngest, Bryce, was on a live talking about, damn, like, I don't think my dad waiting for me to get in the league. And more so than him talking about his dad, my takeaway from him was the confidence that he had when saying he would get drafted. Like, he just surefire, not even a doubt in his mind. And what they say sometimes, the youngest is the one that's different. That's the one that don't give a fuck, no filter. So he could potentially be the one out of his kids that could really ball. I guess kind of like what we've seen with the Ball brothers, no pun intended, with LaMelo and Lonzo. Lonzo's good, but LaMelo is just different. So we could have a similar situation in that, but I think this more so, like I said, guarantees that Bron's career really is coming to an end. If we're just being honest, that's just what it really comes down to, which leads us to obviously Bronny and his press conference. And honestly, it's similar to the JJ Redick. It's just, this stuff is just a formality, is really what it is at the end of the day, right? They kept mentioning some shit yesterday, though. They kept mentioning, where is it? They want him to be the point of attack defender. I'm sure that's a term that's been used in basketball before. I'm sure all the terms that they've been using in these press conferences with the Lakers have been used before. It just feels like these Lakers are right now, and I know what it means, right? But it just feels like they're throwing all of these fucking terms out there to make it seem like they're really doing something. Because like, I get that Bronny is athletic, he's quick, he could jump, but he's 6'1.5" without shoes on. So let's call him 6'2", 6'2.5". He doesn't all of a sudden become an all defensive player at that height. Like, it takes time, because the body, the frame. I think I read that he weighed in at 210 pounds at the combine, which is it's a good frame, right? But like, when he's out there, he just looks small compared to everyone else, and obviously that's just simply the eye test, right? In game, it could be totally different. I was watching him play against Risache, who was the number one pick in this draft, and holding his own. Risache, obviously a smaller frame, but I'm more so talking about other NBA players. And they were talking about Bronny being a versatile defender. He needs to first have the ability to guard his position. And we're talking about Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving. Is he going to be the one to guard Luka? LaMelo, we were just talking about Damian Lillard, Jalen Brunson, like Jamal Murray. Like, let's relax. Let's relax with this shit, right? If they switch him off of one of these point guards, it's not going to be because of versatility. It's going to be because they need him to not get cooked by one of these other guys. So, they were just talking about a lot of that stuff with him, and I was, and again, it's a lot of gesturing, it's a lot of just being positive, but I get that he's a defender and he likes defense, and that's kind of what they're pushing at the moment, and they're talking about developing him, which is obviously alluding to more of his offense, right? And being a point guard in this league, because he's not going to be able to really play other positions. which kind of leads me to this next part, right? Where's all right, let's take a look at this right here.
And Bronny, you played 1 year at USC and then joined the team, after the season already began. What about the timing to come into this year's draft compelled you to make that decision? And then how much of a consideration was, well, my father's still an active player?
For me, I always try to put that narrative of me trying to get my name out for myself. But just coming in and trying to get better, Rob has told me that there's a great development system here. So I just want to come in and get my work in and get better every day. But I never really had a thought of, me going to play with my dad, but that's always, there to, take part of. But that wasn't a main focus of mine to do.
That's all right, here it is. So, I guess the topic at hand is, can Bronny James make his own lane? Is this even possible? And my girlfriend and I had a lengthy conversation about this yesterday. And to her point, he will always be in his dad's shadow. It's inevitable, right? It would be impossible to get away from that, and that's partly LeBron's fault by giving him his name. It's just he's junior. It will follow him, right? He's obviously in the same career, playing basketball in the NBA, now on the same team. But just the fact that his dad is LeBron, one of the greatest players ever, it'll always follow him, right? And I get that part. And I guess it takes, folks that really just kind of want to talk about the basketball part of this to say, well, first and foremost, he can't be his dad. He physically cannot be his dad. The things that make his dad so great is the physical tools and gifts that LeBron was blessed with that, unfortunately for Bronny, he did not get blessed with. Let's just call it what it is, right? LeBron is damn near 6'9", fucking 250, 260 pounds. Like, he's just a different human being, can run and jump and do the things that he does at his size, right? So, in that sense, they don't even play the same position. Like, in the basketball sense, it's possible, right? To those people that watch and know the game, and then especially if he doesn't even become a star in the league, it is very possible that he can create his own lane. It'll be very difficult, but it'll be, in my opinion, possible. His road, and Connect was talking about this. Dalton Connect was talking about this yesterday, about his path to the NBA was just different. Well, Bronny's path through the NBA will also be different, because that name will always follow him, whether it comes with a good connotation or a bad connotation, right? And it's going to be up to him moving forward to really to carve out his career, right? It really does come down to him. Now, the other part of this that I've worried about is the amount of pressure that they're gonna put on this kid, because obviously,
how much more pressure?
Obviously, even if LeBron wasn't on his team, right? Like, even if LeBron wasn't on his team and he was getting drafted, he would be dealing with a similar thing. Obviously, this gets multiplied tenfold that now that they have this fucking little circus in LA. But this was his response.
On you playing on a team with your father, and how you going to handle that pressure?
For sure, the amplified amount of pressure. I've already seen it, stuff, media and stuff in the internet and stuff, talking about I might not deserve an opportunity, but I've been dealing with stuff like this for my whole life. So it's nothing different, but it's more amplified for sure. But I can get through it.
So Bronny James is gonna come into the NBA, and even when LeBron retires eventually, right? He's probably going to be a role player with a superstar spotlight, where eyes and cameras are going to be on him, whether he's scoring 10 points a game or 30 points a game. It's not going to really matter, right? And how will he handle that situation? How will he, more importantly, right? How will he handle the teammates? I guess the benefit for him is he was already on a star team in Sierra Canyon. And if, I've heard some stuff about that particular program and the way that they rotate players and the way they don't really give a fuck about developing guys. They just care about having the spotlight. It's not really a great program that's run well with great leadership, right? And obviously over there, Bronny was in an environment where he was with other big name, high school players at the time. And he also spoke about having seen already, LeBron's lifestyle and backlash, and he's also spoken about seeing his own backlash, because obviously these kids now live on the internet, right? And it's going to be important to see how he responds, because here's the thing about LeBron, right? Here's the reality. And this is not Bronny's fault, but this is the reality that, I don't think many folks have spoken about. LeBron James, for probably almost half of his career, or a good portion of the first third of his career, people were calling him soft. I mean, I guess even now people have called him soft. He doesn't have that dog in him. He's not a killer. He's not an assassin. And I've always been of the mindset where, look at his personality. He's always smiling. He's always laughing. He loves his teammates. If you look at the personality, the play makes sense, right? And those times where he needed to become this ultra aggressive player, he needed to become a savage, quote unquote, and he needed to go and be dominant. I'm sure a part of him was able to pull from some of his experiences growing up. We all know LeBron didn't have a great life growing up. He was able to pull from those things. He was able to pull from all the shit talk that everyone said about him in the NBA, right? All of those things he was able to pull from to be able to rise to those moments. It seems to me like Bronny is a really nice kid, right? And if he has that same DNA from LeBron of just being the nice guy, he just wants to get his teammates involved. When the going gets tough and he needs to not be this docile player and he needs to be this super aggressive player, where does he pull from? For most of his life, he's lived a good life. That's not his fault. It's not his fault. But where does he pull from when he needs to become this aggressive player, right? Where does that come from? Is it, is he going to be able to tap into that? right? And that's up to him. That's up to him as a player, right? That's up to him as an individual to find out. And also, how will he handle that? I think the players around him will look at how he handles this moving forward. And, you know, we'll talk about it in a second. He gets to have a front row seat at how to handle media, how to handle scrutiny and pressure with his dad, right? So to speak on that, when it comes to learning, right?
Being around,
you know, that's one of the most important things that you could do, period. And, you know, this is one of the questions that they asked of
being
him.
around, obviously, the NBA and your dad, is the process going to be easier for you to get started knowing what to expect and what you grew up around?
I had my own basketball stuff going on, so I wasn't really, you know, in my dad's pocket all day, you know, following him around the Lakers facility. But yeah, I've had some stories, but there's not. I don't know what, you know, exactly is to come.
And Bronny obviously gets to learn from the second greatest basketball player of all time. And, you know, I guess there's that misconception of everyone just for some reason thought that, I don't know what folks think their schedules are, but even if it wasn't bad, the kid got school. And if he don't got school, the kid got school. Like, he wasn't just around LeBron all day long. Like, that's not how that shit works. Like, what the fuck do you think is happening? And, you know, him growing up and becoming a man it's one thing, right? He's going to be, I don't know if he's under his parents' roof or whatnot, if he's going to be living on his own, but he's going to be living under his dad day to day. And will he be allowed to make those same mistakes that a regular 18-year-old can make? Right? Let's just, you know what I'm saying? He's 18 years old. He just signed a 4-year, $7.9 million deal. I'm sure he's already had money from even before. But, you know, he's already under a microscope as it is, but now his dad is also on the team watching him. So how does that work? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're around the guys, you trying to talk to women. Like, how does when your dad is on the team, like, how does that work for being a regular 18-year-old trying to grow up and just grow up, literally just trying to live your life? Like, how does that dynamic work? Is that going to hinder him, right? But that's just one aspect of it, right? You know, you can look at this in a negative light, but at least he gets to have a front row seat when it comes to preparation. He gets to see what time LeBron goes to the gym, how many times he goes to the gym, how long does he take in between, what does he eat, when does he get his body, all these things that he didn't get to see, because obviously like he said, he has his own, he's going to practice, he's going to school, he's practice, game, homework, and then he gets to go to the basketball game. Like most of us, he's been living his life, and then he just gets to see the finished product and then LeBron goes and gets 28 points, 7 and 7, and makes it look easy. But now he gets to see what that's really like. How often is he watching film? How is he breaking down games? In a basketball sense, it doesn't get better. Like, if you get to take down the list, all right, Kobe, Jordan, LeBron, Magic, you get to take down the list. Okay, if you could learn from, there's no better than to learn from one of the greatest players ever, and to learn right under them. Honestly, more players with LeBron probably should have taken this route in terms of the preparation and the training, and you know what I'm saying? Because it's these little things that help you get a leg up on your competition, right? And he gets to learn that in real time. Now, in terms of playing the game of basketball. I understand that his dad, I understand that LeBron is, could argue is one of the greatest point guards of all time also, right? But his game doesn't translate to Bronny. So who can that mentor be that can really help Bronny learn the game at his size, right? And I think that's going to be the part. That's going to be the question. Obviously, I'm sure JJ is going to spend some time, helping him get shots off of screen and helping him through that process, especially if he believes that he's as good of a shooter as he thinks he is. That could help him out. When I've seen him handle the ball, he's not the greatest ball handler, so I don't expect him to be this ball-dominant kind of point guard. More of a get the ball up the floor, initiate offense, come off of picks, and get shots. Excuse me. But, obviously that's something that we'll have to see moving forward. But yeah, these are going to be the questions that they're going to have to answer. I do think that it's a positive to learn under his dad. And I also think that he's gonna have to jump off the nest and get and fly at some point, because he can't be under his dad forever. So he is gonna have to, go out and make those mistakes in life like everybody else, right? Like literally like everybody else. So yeah, man. Yeah, but not much else really happened in the press conference. It was just, they're just asking a whole bunch of nonsense, if we're being honest. But more so now, I saw some news about the Golden State Warriors. They're acquiring Kyle Anderson, I believe, right? A $27 million 3-year deal with the Warriors. I know there was rumors about who else were they potentially signing. Buddy Hield. I know there've been rumors about Lauri Markkanen. It's just like, what the fuck happened to the Golden State Warriors? They've literally, right before our eyes, have collapsed. And they're left with Steph Curry and a Draymond Green that's been averaging 9 points a game the last couple seasons. Like, it's just, what happened, right? To me, at this point, the Warriors are gonna have to go into full rebuild, and they might as well do Steph a favor and trade him and potentially, extend expand his career and potentially get another ring at this point, because now they're just gonna waste these years of his career where he's still a great player, and he's shown that he's still one of the best players in the world. But when you have the team like this, and I've always had this critique of Steph Curry, right? And this is no disrespect to him, but if you have a bare bones team and you need him to just lift everyone up, you're going to have a hard time. The style of play makes it hard, right? This is a time where not being a ball dominant player kind of hurts him, because now you're relying on other players to make plays and be smart with the basketball, and now they're the decision makers as opposed to him. Although he's expanded his ability to play one-on-one and his ability to, score in those situations is still Steph Curry, right? And that makes it difficult. You're talking about a Buddy Hield who's, let's call it what it is, a Walmart version of Klay Thompson, right? We're talking about a Lauri Markkanen who, a good player, but also a discount version of like a Kevin Durant. Like, he's more of a big than a wing player though, but shoots threes. Like, they're getting lesser versions of players that they could have right now. And if they were going to take these cap hits, they should have just kept some of their star players, starting with Kevin Durant all those years ago. So can the Warriors build a good enough roster? I don't believe so. We've seen how Steph looks like on these teams, man. They're not playoff teams. He's going to get his numbers, he's going to get his stats, but the way, like I said, the way that he's able to score and get buckets coming off of picks, as opposed to being the guy to get buckets, get open, and get other guys open when he's drawing the deep, it's just a different style. And yeah, it's he has a tough time when he doesn't have other guys with him that can really go out there and go and get buckets. And it's unfortunate because especially he's still really good. I just wish he would get into a better situation, man. And it's real tough for him. It's real tough for him, dog. Now, I saw something, and it's a slow news day, y'all. It's a slow news day, but I saw something about Jared McCain, basically talking about memes that he's seen about himself, like, Joel Embiid gonna be passing the ball to him, and he gonna be doing a TikTok or some shit. Bronny just talked about seeing the hate. The new breed of players that we have, they are, for some of their shortcomings, for some of the things about them that we don't like, when it comes to them doing TikTok dances, some of their antics. Well, let's call it what it is. 18-year-olds are 18-year-olds, regardless of what generation. They're just doing what other 18-year-olds at that time are doing. We just put these kids at a different pedestal because their starting salary is millions of dollars as opposed to a normal kid's salary coming out of college, right? But the reality is they are their age. We can't take that away from them. And for some of those things that we don't like, what they are internet kids. They live on the internet. So a lot of the criticism, a lot of the critiques, they've seen it already. And for the amount of shit that we give them sometimes, that can build tough skin. And all it takes is for one of these little TikTok-y motherfuckers to become an MVP candidate in the NBA, and all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose because all of these other TikTok-y motherfuckers get to look at him and say, wow, I could do that shit too. Because, what we've talked about at the end, this is basketball. You take all that other shit that we like to add on to it, this is basketball. And if they know how to play basketball and if they execute, what we've talked about with the Boston Celtics, emotions are a part of the game, but when you limit them and just simply execute, all that other shit don't matter. The way you paint your nails, the color of your hair, who the fuck you like, where were you yesterday, what are you doing tomorrow, what do you want, all that shit don't matter. If you can execute and play basketball and play your role and do it at a high level. Let's just call it what it is. All they're doing is making themselves marketable to the younger generation, which means dollar signs. That's all they're doing, and people gonna keep hating on them, and they gonna keep getting paid. But I think this is a part of the new generation, the new breed of players, that for all the shit that they come with, I think we're going to start seeing some folks that just got tough skin. We're going to start just seeing guys come in that no filter, don't give a fuck, wear whatever. Like, we're going to start seeing those guys, and that don't give a fuck mentality and attitude, we're going to see some of it translate to the court. And I think it could potentially be a really, really good player in the NBA. I'm going to just call it what it is. Because that mentality, that way of thinking, and that approach can go a really, really long way. And not to mention the fact that they being on the internet now, these kids, they're gonna damn near be doing the marketing for these teams, right? For like they know this stuff already. They've been doing it. So I do think that there's some of these positives that comes with some of the younger generation, and hey, we'll just gotta look for it. But I think we're gonna see someone special come along that really changes things up and the way that we look at some of these things, right? And it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. Now, speaking of new players, I mean, he's not so young anymore, especially with the time off, and he was a part of this crowd. He just made it look quote unquote cool. But, you know, Ja Morant doing the gritty dancing all over. I mean, what difference is it? He's not painting his nail, but what difference does it make? He was a part of he was a part of that group. And he was also younger. It's just his generation, right? But for me, I'm looking for whether or not Ja can make a comeback this season or not. I was looking at his numbers and I was like, shit, like he really starting to put up numbers already. I was like, what the hell? I think right before he was at like 27 a game. Some crazy. I was like, shit. 25. Oh, when he was 7th in MVP voting, he was 27.4 2021, 2022. And then how many games did he play? 57. Then the year after that, 61, and then 9. So obviously he's had a little bit of a rough time. But with all the news of all of these other players, right? We've talked about Anthony Edwards all year. We've talked about, obviously, Luka Doncic. You know, Jason Tatum is young. You know, we've talked about all of these players. And I think we've kind of forgotten Ja Morant, right? Even earlier when I was talking about the point guards, I didn't even mention him. And he's still a player that we have to see what he's going to turn out into, because I don't even think he's at the peak of his powers, and he's already putting up those kinds of numbers. I'm trying to see what his contract looks like right now. They got him through 2027, 2028. He's not a free agent until 2028, 2029. So he's going to be in Memphis, but you know, he had such a huge surge, right? And with obviously injury, obviously he was injured last year. Obviously the gun stuff. And, you know, we just got to see how he comes back from it. It was his right shoulder, so that's his shooting arm. So for a while, he probably wasn't even shooting on it. And that was a huge part of his development, was his ability to shoot the ball. Because the question about him was he's kind of reckless, you know, attacks the basket a lot, kind of like AI, and he has the potential of getting hurt. And his jump shot was coming along nicely, only for him to get this injury. So I really want to see what he looks like coming back. He does have Zach Edey. I pray to God that he doesn't focus on only shooting threes, because in the NBA right now, where I don't think they're prepared to start dealing with folks just posting the ball up. I just call it what it is. I don't think it's been so long that like when someone start posting up, they look like a deer in the headlights. Like they don't know what the fuck is happening. So if he can go get some buckets in the post for Ja to open it up, so now it opens up, slot cuts, backdoor cuts, alley-oops, to get some easy buckets for Ja Morant to get into the lane, so he doesn't have to worry about dribble getting in. I think it'll go a long way. And then you also take into account a Jaren Jackson Jr. who likes to shoot three-pointers. if Zach Edey is in the 3-point line, it's kind of fucking up that spacing. So, hopefully they can figure out what that looks like, because I think it could potentially work, right? It could potentially work. And it'll obviously depend on how Ja comes back. Is he the same player that we saw before he went out? So a lot of time off, gonna be a little bit rusty. We'll see how his body holds up, but hopefully he comes back real strong, man, because we miss this dude, dog. I was real high on him until all that shit broke down. But fuck, let me see if there's any. Is there any news? I don't think we've gotten any news, bro. No. We got no news outside of I think France right now is playing against Turkey. So outside of that, yeah, nothing is really going on at the moment. But yeah, outside of that, man, that's gonna do it for me today. It's gonna be a short episode. I know we lagged the fuck out earlier. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me today. Short episode. Thank y'all for hanging out. Thank y'all for kicking it with me as always. I appreciate y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit, because it helps the channel out. And as always, you could have been anywhere on the internet, but you were here with me, and I really fucking appreciate that. So thank y'all, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace, peace, peace. Have a great rest of y'all Wednesday, man. We almost at the weekend. Thank y'all. Peace, peace.